Hi, everyone. I'm Tom Mees. We're at halftime at the Astrodome, and time now to take a look, as we do every week at this time, at some highlights of the other games. And this is the final weekend of the regular season in the USFL. The Men at Halftime Report is being brought to you by Speed Stick Deodorant. The wide stick gives you the edge. Speed Stick Deodorant by Menet. Sunday afternoon, College Park, Maryland. Tampa Bay Bandits kill themselves with turnovers against the Baltimore Stars. There goes Mike Johnson, intercepting a John Reeves pass. Touchdown. Stars lead at 10-0 early on. Kelvin Bryant is healthy. He had a big day again. Bryant breaks a couple of tackles, goes all the way, 66 yards for the touchdown. Now the Stars have won 5 of the last 6. Heading into the playoffs, Bryant ran for 114 yards, and he looked marvelous Sunday. Third quarter, Chuck Fusina under a heavy rush because Kelvin Bryant missed a block out of the backfield. No matter. Kelvin says, give me the football, I'll score. He goes 42 yards for the touch. Baltimore wins it in a walk.
You know, really, I was supposed to stay in and block that dude that was in his face, but I got my protection mixed up, and, you know, he just laid it out there, and there wasn't nobody out there covering me because I was supposed to block that dude, and, you know, it was clear sailing from there.
Baltimore 38, Tampa Bay 10. The Stars rushing into the playoffs. The Bandits stumbling into the playoffs. Meanwhile, Jacksonville fans were upset that Robbie Mafu's quarterback was let go on Saturday, but it didn't seem to stop Mike Rozier and the Jacksonville Bulls. Rozier bowling in for a 1-yard touch, first of 4 on the day. The prettiest touchdown for Rozier, 34-yard effort late in the first quarter. Rozier's longest run from scrimmage of the year. Look at him, pulled his way to the end zone. Rozier is headed for the NFL's Houston Oilers. That was announced earlier today. Back to the quarterback situation. They started Ed Luther. Now that Mafu's was let go, and Ed Luther threw for 370 yards, 2 touchdowns, one of them there to Mike Rozier, and a 29-yarder from Ed Luther, who appears to be the quarterback of the future in Jacksonville, to Alton Alexis. The Bulls not going to the playoffs, but they hand the Denver Gold a 42-6 defeat. The Gold also stumbling in to postseason play. Last Friday night in Orlando on ESPN, this play epitomized the season for both Orlando and Los Angeles. Curtis Bledsoe fumbles into the hands of an Express player who fumbles it right back to Bledsoe. And on the next play, quarterback Reggie Collier beats the blitz, hits Jeff Smith, who avoids a tackle. Smith takes it in on a rainy night in Orlando, and the Renegades lead it 7-0. But the LA Express, to their credit, played hard, answered right back. Tony Bodie scores. We're tied at halftime at 10-10. Late in the third quarter, LA's Frank Sire, back to pass, has plenty of time, but his pass is tipped and intercepted by Jeff George. George eventually, as he's going down to the turf, says, well, I'm not going anywhere, so he gives it to Victor Jackson. Jackson spins for a few more yards as the Renegades fought hard their last game at home this year. Orlando capitalized. Reggie Collier to the veteran Joey Walters. Watch the move by Walters on the wet turf. 2 LA men fall all over each other. Walters falls into the end zone. Hey, let's hear it for Lee Corso. The Renegades win their finale 17-10. More highlights now from the final weekend of the regular season in the USFL. They called it the Temple of Doom to the Generals players about the Meadowlands. That's because they were undefeated at home, and the visiting teams hadn't fared too well. Herschel Walker came into the game Sunday against Birmingham with 11 straight 100-yard-plus games, but not on Sunday. Both offenses had first-half problems. After an interception gave the Stallions great field position, Jim Smith fumbled away inside the New Jersey 15. The only offense in the first half from the toe of Roger Ruzek, the excellent place kicker of the New Jersey Generals. Generals led it 6-0 at halftime. But the third quarter, everything changed. The Stallions' offense got going. Cliff Stoudt to Jim Smith, a 3-yard bullet pass, touchdown, and Raleigh Dodge, head coach of Birmingham, is happy about that on the sidelines. On New Jersey's next possession, quarterback Ron Reeves has some time, but his pass is intercepted by Ted Walden, a free safety. He returns it 46 yards for a touchdown, and Walt Michaels knows he's in big trouble, trailing 14-6. But remember, they have the 2-point conversion in the USFL. If the Generals can only score late in the fourth quarter, there's their chance. 4th down, and Ron Reeves goes for it all. But David Dumars of Birmingham tips the football. No matter, there's tight end Sam Bowers. If he can only catch the pass, the Generals could force an overtime, but no. Cliff Stoudt gives Raleigh Dodge the game ball. The Stallions win the Eastern Conference.
We're not one of the teams that gets a whole lot of respect in this league. Everybody talks about your Tampas and Oaklands and Denvers and Houstons and New Jerseys and Memphis. And oh yeah, Birmingham played this week. So we've got nobody to impress but ourselves, because really not a whole lot of people watch what we do. So that's the most satisfying thing.
Well, the Stallions win the game 14-6. They'll be at home for as long as they're in the playoffs going up to the championship game. Meanwhile, Saturday night on ESPN in Memphis, a shootout between the Outlaws of Arizona and the Memphis Showboats. Doug Williams to Reggie Brown gives the Outlaws a 14-10 lead. Later in the second quarter, Mike Kelly rolls right, takes it in from the 1. Showboats lead it 17-14. Late in the half with it 24-14 Memphis, Doug Williams back to pass. Got plenty of time, throws, but he gets picked off by Ron Osborne, who returns it all the way to the Arizona Outlaws 17-yard line. He took the overland route, but he did the job. On the next play, Mike Kelly, who's just been excellent since being moved in as a starter about mid-season, hits Gerald Bradley. He takes it in for the touch, 31-14 at halftime. Memphis is on a roll. Third quarter, Memphis setting up for a field goal, but remember the holder is quarterback Walter Lewis. He rolls right and finds Van Heflin. The Boats win it 38-28, and the fireworks are going off in Memphis for the Showboats, will be at home at least in the first week of the playoffs. Sunday night in San Antonio, the second largest crowd in Gunslinger history, 19,603, may have been their last chance to see the Guns. Slingers leading Portland 7-3 second quarter. Rick Neuheisel to Jerry Gordon, nice catch, and it's a 26-yard score, and the young cheerleaders in Texas are learning from the veterans. In the third quarter, Don Roberts, who ran for San Antonio's first touchdown, gets a Neuheisel aerial here touchdown. The Gunslingers win it 21-13 over the Portland Breakers and end a long season for them on a happy note.